Sam Elliott, the iconic Hollywood cowboy, the man with the legendary mustache and that deep, gravelly voice that once convinced all of America that masculinity was an eternal value. For more than half a century in front of the camera, he earned sums of money that many young actors could never touch in their entire careers. But ironically, at 81 years old, Sam Elliott has almost nothing left, all because of choices he believed were the right ones. Big contracts turned down for fear of losing his identity, only to watch others quietly climb the Oscar podium. Family rifts that led to costly settlements and years of ongoing expenses. And one impulsive remark, just a few words enough to make all of America turn its back, pushing an already fragile career even closer to the edge. The wealth accumulated over a lifetime evaporated, piece by piece, until there was almost nothing left to protect. And so today, at an age when many are comfortably retired, Sam Elliott still has to keep working even though his health no longer allows it. What pushed a Hollywood icon to this point? And why, even after losing nearly everything, has Sam Elliott never bowed his head? Long before becoming an icon, Sam Elliott was only a boy growing up with quiet fractures, the kind that planted the seeds for the troubles, risks, and tragedies that would follow him for decades. Sam Elliott entered the world in the early morning of the 9th of August, 1944, at Sutter Memorial Hospital in Sacramento, California. It was a time when World War II was nearing its end, and the hospital was overflowing with births as soldiers returned from the front lines. Baby Samuel Peck Elliott weighed 8 pounds, 2 ounces, the son of a truly working-class family, where his father, Henry Nelson Elliott's annual income amounted to only $2,100 from his job as a predator control specialist for the U.S. Department of the Interior. Henry spent most of his time on horseback, roaming across 47,000 square miles of rugged wilderness in Northern California, hunting wolves, coyotes, and mountain lions to protect farmers and livestock. The dangerous work demanded not only endurance but isolation, often keeping him away from home for weeks at a time, leaving his wife and child in a small house filled with everyday worries. Even today, Sam often describes his father as a towering, solid presence, strong and dependable, but also harsh. In contrast to his father's austerity, Sam's mother, Glynn Mamie Sparks Elliott, was an extraordinary woman, a 3-time Texas diving champion from 1938 to 1940. She mastered 10-meter platform dives at just 16 years old, earning perfect scores from all 7 judges in the 1940 competition with a 2.5 backward somersault. Her life changed completely when she met her future husband at a USO dance in El Paso in 1942. They married after only 6 weeks, and Glynn gave up her athletic career to follow him, becoming a strict but deeply loving mother. She poured all the energy of an athlete into raising her son, waking Sam at 5:30 every morning to do 50 push-ups, run 2 miles around McKinley Park, and swim 500 meters every day from the age of 5. "Time is gold," was the phrase she repeated most often to young Sam. Glynn recorded every bit of progress in a leather notebook that Sam still keeps like a treasure today. Those grueling routines did more than strengthen his body. They carved iron discipline into him, something that later helped him endure countless failures in Hollywood. From the ages of 2 to 8, Sam's life was a non-stop cycle of moving. The family relocated 7 times across different cities, staying only a few months each time. 6 months in Modesto in a damp wooden house, 14 months in Stockton along the mosquito-ridden San Joaquin River, 8 months in Fresno under blistering heat. Average household income hovered around $3,400, and the Elliott family had to save every penny. Sam attended 4 different elementary schools, forced to say goodbye before friendships could take root, familiar faces fading with every moving truck. "I never really had a place I could call home," he once shared in an interview, his deep voice carrying quiet regret. That instability planted a deep loneliness, turning young Sam inward, quiet, learning to comfort himself through books about the American frontier. Even with such brief stints at each school, he stood out in athletics, breaking the 100-yard dash record at 11.2 seconds and jumping 18 feet 4 inches in the 6th grade. Acting slipped into his life when he stepped in as the lead in a school production of Tom Sawyer. Drama teacher Helen Kozlowski noted, "Samuel has an unusual stage presence for his age." His father showed little enthusiasm. At David Douglas High School, Sam ran hurdles, played football, sang well enough to be voted Best Male Voice in 1962, and starred in Our Town. Hunting trips with his father starting at age 4 were among Sam's most cherished childhood memories. Henry would strap Sam into a special saddle on a quarter horse named Dusty, taking him on 12-hour rides through the Sierra foothills. By the age of 6, Sam could identify 23 kinds of animal tracks and recognize the calls of 31 bird species. Once, in 1950, near Lake Tahoe, at an elevation of 6,200 feet, they encountered a 400-pound black bear. Sam sat perfectly still for 47 minutes while his father fired warning shots to scare it away. "That was when I learned how to stay calm under pressure," Sam recalled in a recent interview. Those trips forged resilience in him, while also reinforcing the loneliness of the long stretches when his father was away for work. Then came the greatest tragedy in 1963, when his father Henry died suddenly of a heart attack at the age of 54. It was an ordinary afternoon in the living room. Henry collapsed into his wife's arms, and Sam, then 18, received the news like a crushing blow. In a single moment, the family's pillar was gone. "It killed me," he said in an interview, his voice breaking. That death left not only an emotional void, but pushed the family into financial hardship. Sam dropped out of the University of Oregon after 2 semesters and transferred to Clark College in Vancouver, Washington to earn an associate degree. At the same time, he took on manual labor to survive, farm work, construction assistance, exhausting jobs with shockingly low pay. Those days etched a nearly obsessive belief into Sam that if he did not stand on his own, no one would save him. "I felt like I no longer had the right to fail," he once said. "If I fell, there would be no one there to pick me up." And so Sam Elliott left the family home, carrying heavy memories into a larger world, armed not only with dreams, but with a deep-rooted fear of failure. In 1967, Sam Elliott walked away from everything familiar and arrived in Los Angeles with a brutally light suitcase, about $300 in cash, a vague dream of acting, and an obsession with proving he could stand on his own 2 feet. To survive, Sam worked construction on high-rise buildings in Bunker Hill, hanging steel for 12 hours a day at $2.15 an hour. Late afternoons, he rushed straight from the job site to acting classes at Pasadena Playhouse, sometimes dozing off mid-scene from sheer exhaustion. At night, he returned to a cramped, damp rental apartment where cockroaches crawled out when the lights went off. "I cried a lot and wondered if my father had been right." He later admitted in an interview, his deep voice trembling slightly with memory. Sam Elliott's life at that point did not resemble someone chasing Hollywood, but someone trying to survive long enough not to turn back. His first role came quickly, but brought almost nothing. In 1967's The Way West, Sam had a single line and earned $55, forgetting it 3 times in front of Kirk Douglas, a living legend of American cinema. Douglas grew impatient, pulled Sam aside and said, "You've got the look, kid, but learn your lines." The remark stung like a slap and also became fuel. Even though his screen time was so brief that audiences barely noticed him and the film lost $2.8 million, Sam kept the call sheet like a prized possession. He continued struggling, enduring 347 failed auditions in 1969 alone, carefully recording them in a rejection diary as a way to force himself not to quit. A small role in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid that same year appeared like a rare glimmer of hope, giving him 47 seconds on screen, only for the scene to be cut entirely. During this chapter of his life, Sam seemed to work harder than anyone else, and fail more than anyone else to the point where he lost count. He only knew that each closed door shaved away a piece of his self-worth. If I were good enough, they would call, he told himself. Hollywood did not operate on that kind of simple fairness. Talent alone was not always enough, and Sam Elliott, with his rugged look and quiet demeanor, did not fit the star mold studios were chasing at the time. In 1972, Sam finally landed his first leading role in Frogs, a horror film about animals rising up. For him, it felt like a breath after years of suffocation. The paycheck was only $7,500, but it was enough for Sam to believe he might be emerging from his darkest period. Ironically, the film became a painful memory. During production, Sam was bitten by a snake, enduring physical pain and psychological shock. When Frogs reached theaters, it flopped badly, earning only $850,000. Critics were unkind, audiences indifferent. Worse still, Sam's agent dropped him, seeing the film as proof that his career had no future. It felt like a brutal awakening. Sam Elliott, nearing 30, was back at the starting line. Sam did not give up. Each failure strengthened his belief that survival in Hollywood required holding on to one's identity, even when that meant rejecting safer paths. From that conviction came one of the most controversial decisions of his life, turning down a 3-year, $45,000 contract with Universal Studios. Producers wanted him locked into repetitive deputy roles, and he refused outright, fearing typecasting. He believed that choosing safety now would cost him the chance to become himself. The decision pushed Sam back into financial instability, marking the first time his personal principles led directly to tangible financial loss. Sam Elliott's career slowly gained traction in the late 1970s and 1980s, but the sense of almost never left him. Lifeguard in 1976 earned only $3.2 million. But it opened doors, bringing him 127 calls from agents within 48 hours of its release. Then came The Legacy in 1,978 inches, the UK, where he committed so fully that he used a real knife to cut his own hand during a stunt scene. Even as his reputation grew within the industry, his finances remained unstable. He nearly accepted a full-time voiceover job for Coors Beer at $75,000 a year and even toured houses in Golden, Colorado, hoping for stability. I was exhausted and broke. A steady job with a beer company sounded like paradise, he later admitted. In the end, his passion for acting pulled him back to Hollywood. The peak of heartbreak arrived in 1992, when Sam turned down the role of Little Bill Daggett in Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven. The part went to Gene Hackman, earning him an Oscar, millions of dollars, and immense fame. Unforgiven became a major success, while Sam continued taking steady but unremarkable supporting roles. I passed up too many opportunities because the timing was wrong, or it didn't feel right, he later reflected. But Sam's life was never only about career. It also held love, family, and psychological tragedies that no one could have foreseen. Sam Elliott waited a very long time to find true love, and it arrived in 1978 on the set of The Legacy in England, alongside Catherine Ross. At that time, he was 34 years old, just coming out of the most difficult period of his career, while Catherine was already a celebrated star thanks to The Graduate and Butch Cassidy. Their meeting there was not their first. Fate had teased them as far back as 1969 on the set of Butch Cassidy, when Sam appeared for only 47 seconds in a supporting role and Catherine played Etta Place. But their shared scene was cut entirely. Love grew out of late-night conversations about work, exhaustion with Hollywood, and the feeling of always being watched like display items. Sam later said that in Catherine he found a rare moment of quiet in a world that was far too loud. They married in May 1984, but the wedding was far from the romantic dream many imagined. Catherine was still in the middle of divorcing her former husband. A tense and drawn-out legal battle involving a demand for $50,000 a month in alimony, an enormous sum at the time, accompanied by tabloid-fueled accusations of violent mood swings. National Enquirer even paid questionable sources to dig into the private lives of the newlyweds. The wedding had only 12 guests and was held in secrecy, and they still had to hire private security for protection. Just 3 days later, while honeymooning in Hawaii, paparazzi tracked them down, leaving Catherine crying through the night. "We just wanted peace," Sam once shared in a rare interview, his deep voice heavy with exhaustion. Catherine's divorce was not legally finalized until August, causing their marriage to be labeled questionable for several months, a small detail that proved enough for the press to exploit, increasing stress and legal costs. In the early years of their marriage, they faced relentless pursuit from the media, and Sam, already obsessed with money since childhood, lived in a constant state of underlying tension. He began to realize that fame brought not only opportunity but enormous financial burdens. Sam spent far more money than he ever imagined he would need to spend simply to be left alone. That same year, their daughter Cleo Rose Elliott was born on September 17, weighing 7 pounds 3 ounces, a profound joy amid the turbulence. For Sam, holding his child for the first time marked the first moment he felt a completely different kind of responsibility. He spoke little about fatherhood, but those close to him noticed the change. He became more cautious, more reserved, and far more anxious. Hollywood suddenly felt dangerous to him, not because of temptation, but because it showed no hesitation in invading the things he cherished most. For that reason, Sam refused every offer to sell baby photos, even when tabloids offered $50,000. He wanted to shield his daughter from flashbulbs and gossip. Then, an incident shattered that fragile sense of safety. In 1986, a trusted housekeeper sold a set of private family photos to a tabloid for $10,000. Images of baby Cleo and intimate family moments appeared everywhere. Sam was deeply shaken, suffering sleepless nights, not only from feeling violated but from the sense of betrayal inside his own home. He immediately filed a lawsuit, spent $75,000 installing a modern security system, raised all staff salaries by 50% to ensure loyalty, and overhauled how the household functioned. "I became paranoid after that," he later admitted. Sam grew extremely vigilant. He thoroughly vetted anyone working in the house, avoided large parties, and declined most personal interviews. The costs of security, lawyers, and therapy accumulated over decades, estimated at hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars, gradually drawn from accounts built through major roles. Each decision drained money, but Sam never hesitated. To him, protecting his family came before everything else, even if that meant watching his assets slowly erode. Catherine stood by him, supporting him through dark periods, and that bond also increased the pressure he felt to work more in order to provide and protect. In the years that followed, Sam Elliott worked relentlessly. On the surface, he appeared as a diligent actor, consistently involved in projects large and small. Behind that image, his motivation went far beyond artistic passion. It was fear of losing control, memories of a deprived childhood, and the harsh lesson that a single lapse could invite the world to take away what he loved most. Sam rarely said no to work, even when his body was exhausted or his spirit drained. As time passed, Cleo grew up in a household filled with both love and tension. Sam and Catherine did everything they could to keep her away from public scrutiny, though it was never easy. Every public appearance required calculation. Every trip demanded risk assessment. The Elliott family lived in a constant state of vigilance, an invisible and heavy price that fame demanded. Through many upheavals, Catherine and Sam moved through the 1980s and 1990s together with successful roles. Sam received a Golden Globe nomination for Mask, earned $300,000, and bought a ranch in Malibu, where they still live today. Catherine later played his ex-wife in The Hero in 2017, a film whose script seemed written especially for them. Behind these beautiful moments, cracks began to appear. When Sam was 71, they went through a temporary separation. There was no major public scandal, but pressure from careers, aging, and unresolved memories made distance necessary. Around the same time, Sam underwent emergency stomach surgery in March 2016 after doctors suspected cancer, later confirmed to be false. For Sam, it felt like the moment when both his body and mind turned against him. During that period, Sam Elliott fell into a depression he rarely acknowledged publicly. He sought therapy, something deeply challenging for a man raised in a culture where endurance equaled strength. Therapy costs soared. Thousands of dollars each month for sessions, combined with medication and medical monitoring. "I had never felt so weak," he said in a 2018 interview while filming The Ranch for Netflix. When he believed he had endured enough, another challenge quietly formed. This time, it did not come from paparazzi or private lawsuits, but from his own words, a single impulsive moment that would shake his entire career. In 2022, Sam Elliott appeared on Marc Maron's podcast, a moment no one expected to become a turning point for everything he had built over more than half a century. He was 77, enjoying a late career peak after an Oscar nomination for A Star is Born. On Maron's What the Fuck podcast, Sam spoke slowly about the American West, the cowboy image he had carried all his life, and the sense of displacement felt by an older generation in a changing film world. Then, in a brief outburst, he referred to Jane Campion's Oscar-winning, critically acclaimed The Power of the Dog with a blunt phrase, "a piece of shit."
Did you see Power of the Dog? Did you watch that movie?
Yeah, you want to talk about that piece?
He criticized the portrayal of cowboys in the film, compared Benedict Cumberbatch in leather chaps to Chippendales dancers, and asked, "What the fuck does this woman from down there in New Zealand know about the American West?" referring to Campion. He also spoke negatively about illusions of homosexuality, as if the film were undermining the rugged Western image he had spent his life embodying. For Sam Elliott, this may have felt like a straightforward remark, the kind of blunt talk he learned while hunting with his father. His sarcastic tone and rigid language quickly escaped the confines of the podcast. In the age of social media, things travel faster than intention. Within hours, the clip was cut, shared, dissected, and condemned across platforms. The backlash grew so intense that even Sam Elliott struggled to understand what was happening. The LGBTQ+ community expressed outrage, viewing his remarks not as artistic criticism, but as offensive and reinforcing harmful stereotypes.
Look, what can I say? I'm sorry, he was being a little bit of a bitch.
Jane Campion responded with subtle sharpness at the DGA Awards about Sam, while defending her vision of a West not always defined by traditional masculinity. Online petitions spread rapidly with the hashtag number Boycott Sam Elliott trending on X, and longtime fans turned away, labeling him an outdated relic. Major organizations such as GLAAD and the Human Rights Campaign issued public criticism. A boycott petition quickly gathered tens of thousands of signatures, urging studios to stop working with him. There was no official blacklist, but major companies like Netflix and Paramount grew hesitant, and Sam felt a sudden chill from an industry that once celebrated him. The cowboy known for toughness found himself isolated for the first time. For Sam, the shock did not come only from the outside, but also from within. Nearing 80, he lacked the energy to engage in endless online debates. He stayed silent for days, then weeks. This silence failed to calm the situation and instead led many to assume he felt no remorse. Sam issued a public apology on the 10th of April, 2022, at the Deadline Contenders television event, appearing with a trembling voice and tearful eyes. He admitted, "I wasn't very articulate about it," apologized to the LGBTQ+ community, the film's cast, and Jane Campion, and said his comments stemmed from toxic masculinity he was addressing through therapy. "I'm going to therapy to better understand myself," he said, his deep voice carrying genuine regret. The apology came too late for many. His reputation suffered severe damage, and some viewed it as damage control. Organizations like the Human Rights Campaign accepted the apology while emphasizing that actions speak louder than words. Sam lost major acting opportunities. A Western project with HBO was canceled, and an invitation to join a new season of Yellowstone was withdrawn. He lost a major voiceover contract, a primary income source since the 1970s. Coors Beer, which paid him $50,000 per spot in 1978, hesitated to renew. His income dropped sharply, from $150,000 per episode on the ranch to sporadic minor roles, with advertising contracts heavily affected. "I never imagined my words could cause this much harm," he admitted in a rare 2023 interview. The 2022 scandal went beyond words, becoming a symbol of the clash between old and new generations in Hollywood. Sam, known for traditional cowboy roles in 1883 in The Ranch, was suddenly labeled out of touch. In 2023, he won a SAG award for 1,883, but the scandal lingered. He declined a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for the third time in 2024, writing in an email later leaked by TMZ that he felt overlooked for doing westerns instead of superhero movies. "The world changes," he once said, "and maybe I didn't change fast enough." Combined with COVID-19, when he spent 14 months isolated on his ranch with no new work, Sam sank into deeper depression. He said it was the first time in his life he truly stopped, and also the first time negative thoughts had space to surface. He began writing a memoir as a form of self-dialogue, revisiting memories from a poor childhood to turning down Oscar-level roles like Unforgiven. The more he wrote, the deeper he dug into painful memories. He eventually abandoned the manuscript. "It was too depressing," he admitted to a friend. "I don't want to relive those losses." And as the dust of scandal slowly settled, Sam Elliott entered his early 80 seconds, facing a question with no easy answer. What did he have left beyond a damaged reputation and a shrinking list of contracts? At the age of 81, Sam Elliott no longer stands before the public as the invincible Hollywood cowboy icon. The deep voice that once rang out like an oath of the American West now moves more slowly, rougher, carrying the fatigue of a lifetime spent constantly bracing himself to endure. In 2026, when news about his personal wealth resurfaces, people still see a number that appears reassuring, around $20 million. But behind it lies a very different reality. Sensational headlines continue to circulate on social media. Half-veiled articles keep spreading, all circling the same lingering question. If he still has tens of millions, why does Sam Elliott keep working when he reached retirement age long ago? The answer is not found in a single loss, but in a long chain of decisions, upheavals, and quiet expenses that have steadily gnawed away at his life. Sources like Pioneer Time and Yahoo Finance speak in gentle terms. His assets remain stable. But those who closely follow Sam's career understand that stable does not mean carefree. Many investments failed to deliver the returns once expected. Medical expenses have increased with age, and decades of spending on therapy, personal security, and protecting his family have meant that his cash flow never truly rests. Sam once said in a rare interview, "I'm not afraid of being poor. I'm only afraid of letting the people I love suffer the consequences of my mistakes." The line sounds like a philosophy, but in old age it feels more like a late confession. In 2026, Sam Elliott still appears in the second season of the series Landman, acting alongside Billy Bob Thornton. Filming takes place in Texas, under punishing heat reaching 107 degrees Fahrenheit. On set, people still see him wearing his hat, pulling on his jacket, moving slowly but with resolve, as if age itself were only a supporting role. Then one afternoon, he collapses. Severe dehydration, requiring IV fluids right there on set. The production team suggests he take a few days off, but Sam shakes his head. "If I leave the set now, I won't come back," he says softly, barely loud enough for the person beside him to hear. For Sam Elliott, working is not only about money. It is the only way he knows to keep himself from slipping away from the identity he has built over more than half a century. The cost of that endurance is a body that increasingly turns against him. A slight limp from old injuries, persistent back pain, and even rumors of Parkinson's disease that once alarmed his family, later denied. Sam rarely speaks up to correct such stories. He has grown used to letting the public speculate, as long as his family is left in peace. The truth is that every time he steps onto a set, every time he stands before a studio microphone to record voiceover work, he has to prepare more carefully. A glass of water, a longer pause, a deeper breath. Voiceover work for Dodge Ram trucks was once a crucial financial lifeline. Around $2 million a year is not a small figure, especially for an aging actor. Even that income came close to disappearing after a car accident in 2019. Sam was fortunate not to suffer serious injuries, but the image of the unshakable cowboy the brand relied on nearly gave way to a replacement. The contract remained in place, but from that moment on, Sam understood that nothing lasts forever. Every contract could be the last one. What hurts him more than money is the feeling of being forgotten. 3 times, in 2016, 2019, and 2024, Sam Elliott was offered a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and each time he declined. On the surface, it looked like humility. Those close to him know that deeper down, Sam felt he had never truly been valued by Hollywood. At the Malibu Ranch, where Sam still lives with Catherine Ross, life moves far more slowly and simply than the public imagines for a Hollywood star. No lavish parties, no flashy luxury cars, only quiet mornings, the sound of wind moving through the grasslands, and an old man brewing coffee slowly, carefully, mindful of every movement. Sam continues therapy, even though the cost is far from small. He has never considered it a waste. He believes that without mental stability, everything else, money, fame, career, becomes meaningless. "I've seen too many people collapse because they refuse to face themselves," he once said. "I don't want to become one of them." After everything, Sam understands that real security does not come from how much more you earn, but from how much you manage to preserve. At 81, Sam Elliott's life is not a fairy tale of perfect wealth. It is a quiet, mournful ballad where every note carries a trade-off. And as the lights of Hollywood grow softer, as his fortune no longer looks the way it once did, he keeps moving forward, slowly but without retreat, like an aging cowboy riding into the sunset, carrying whatever remains of a lifetime defined by resilience. If this story touches something real behind the glow of Hollywood for you, don't forget to hit like. To support the channel, subscribe so you don't miss other lives with even deeper hidden corners, and leave a comment with your thoughts, because sometimes a story is told so we can reflect on ourselves.